Hey guys, it's your girl Okpe, your favorite Nigerian yapper, and today we'll be speaking about some common unspoken rules that should be known by people, but clearly there's some weirdos in this world that do not know them or choose not to do them type of thing. I saw a post on social media that highlighted a couple of common unspoken rules, and we're just going to talk about them in this video. So if that sounds like your vibe, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I would also link the post in the description box in case you guys want to go and see it for yourselves. And yeah, that's pretty much what we'll be talking about today. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this video. Okay, so unspoken rule number one is never ask a friend about the parents they barely mention or talk about. Ooh, that's a good one. And I definitely agree with that unspoken rule. I'm not going to go into details why, but if you know, you know. I definitely believe that if somebody is intentionally omitting a particular parent whenever you talk about or ask them about their parents in general, there is a reason why they're not bringing up that parent. So definitely use your discretion and understand that that probably means that they don't want to talk about that parent. I've never been in a situation where it's like, oh, they're just omitting it just because, oh, they're not even thinking too deep about it. But majority of the times, I know that if somebody omits a particular parent, usually in conversation, they don't really want to talk about those parents or that particular parent, whether it's the mom or the dad. So I definitely agree with that unspoken rule. Let me know what you guys think. No matter how close you are to someone, their money is not your money. I think this, I am like 50-50 on it. I feel like if it is a friend that we're referring to, or like maybe siblings, that makes sense, yes. Even if you're close to them, that doesn't mean that whatever they're earning or whatever they have is essentially yours by proximity. I would only argue the opposite if maybe you are married to this person. I can understand how, okay, in that sense, what you have, your money can be my money type of thing, you know. So for me, that particular unspoken rule is like a 50-50. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think even in a marriage, it shouldn't be like the idea of, oh, is your money is also my money? Like, do you think people should have their own separate money? Obviously, I feel like you should still have your own at the end of the day, but I feel like for the most part, it's like the lines are blurred when it comes to certain types of relationships, e.g., when you're married. Let me know what you guys think. If you invite someone for a date, you're paying for it. Hmm. This one, again, I agree with it depending on the type of closeness that we're talking about. If it's a friend type of thing, somebody that you are very close to type of thing, okay, yes. I feel like if they are the ones inviting you or you are the one inviting them, mm, I feel like it honestly depends on how close you are with that person because they're also friendships. Because I know that sometimes with my friends, whenever I go out with them, we either split the bill or if somebody is feeling generous, it can be like, oh, don't worry, I'll cover your own type of thing. Even if it is like after much convincing, but like I think it just depends on the kind of relationship. But if it's somebody that is taking me on a date or I'm going out with like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whoever it is, I feel like whoever is suggesting the date usually or particularly for me personally, if it's the guy that is taking me out, yes, you should pay. I feel like it's standard for like for me, Sha. I don't know. Some people will say will not agree with this, but for me, if my boyfriend is taking me out, he is the one that is paying. That's just me. Everybody's distant opinion is different. You guys may agree or disagree, but every other friendship, maybe friends and everything, it depends. But like if it's a relationship and your man is taking you out, I feel like for the most part, he's the one that should pay. Or if your husband is taking you out, I feel like he's the one that should pay. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As a friend, if I lend you money, please return it. Don't think I will forget. I think for majority of the time, yes, I agree with this one because if somebody lends you money, obviously the obvious thing to do is to repay the money, right? Not just assume that oh they are dashing you the money unless it is stated like oh okay this money that I'm giving you you don't have to pay me back. That's different. But if it's a case of oh, you're asking somebody, please, can you borrow me? Like you specifically say, can you borrow me? I'll pay you back. Please pay back, even if they don't like disturb, because some people don't feel comfortable like disturbing somebody about money that they owe them because they just feel like, oh, I don't want to be a burden, which is weird because the other person should know better and should pay you, and they know that they're owing you money, but still, people can be weird. There's some people that don't like uncomfortable situations, so they probably would never ask for that money unless you bring it up and be like, oh, I'll pay you this money a certain point in time and all that. But for me, what I usually do in situations like this, especially when I want the money back, is you have to give me a timeline. I will give you the money, like, okay, no problem, but like, when do you think you will pay me back? And if you give me a deadline, then when that deadline comes and you do not, you fall through with your promise, then I'll remind, like, hey, by the way, just to remind you, I feel like it's easier to like remind somebody when there is a set time provided, as opposed to just, okay, this is the money, and the guy is like, oh, no problem, thank you so much, like, I'll pay you back. Okay, pay me back when? Like, pay me back when? I feel like for me, that's how I try to like regulate it, by making sure that the deadline is placed. Or if I know that you're not going to pay me back, or I don't have the money, I'm just going to tell you I can't give you the money. Sorry. Unless I am in the mindset again that, okay, this money that I'm giving you, I'm not expecting it back from you. That usually happens for me with like siblings and maybe very, very close friends of mine. But if it's somebody that I don't know, like there's a probability that you may not pay me back, it would take me a longer time to process whether I should give you the money or not, or if I'm giving you the money, am I expecting it back, or am I just giving you the money like, okay, you can keep it type of thing. So again, that one is not really clear. I feel like it depends on the situation. Usually, when it's my siblings that do borrow money from me, though, I try not to like ask back type of thing. So, unless maybe it's a situation where I didn't already have enough money type of thing. So, that's what I think about that. The next one is don't invite two different groups of friends, hoping that they will get along. Mm, I have a very small group of friends. Me personally, because I'm already like someone that takes time to like warm up to new people, I don't think I would ever like mix friendships unless maybe it's just unavoidable. Like maybe we're all going to the same place and I know that a couple of my other friends are coming, so obviously I have no choice but to, and I'm coming with like a different set of friends. Obviously, I have no choice but to introduce both friendships, but to organize something specifically to like mix friend circles, friend groups. I personally don't know if I would be able to do that. That's just me speaking as of now, though, and I've never really thought of doing it. But I've seen situations with other people where that has worked. Like I remember going for a barbecue party for one of my cousins, and she like make I think from my understanding she mixed a lot of her friend groups, and we ended up like, having a really nice time. People like made new friends and all those type of things. So I feel like in some cases it actually works, and in some cases it's not ideal. Really depends on the person that is mixing the friend groups, because it's like if your friend groups have things in common, obviously, well, no, the thing that your friend groups have in common is you, and if they like your personality, typically from the other friend groups, there's definitely going to be something, I feel, that everybody can pick and like, or somebody can pick and like, relate to from like the other friend group. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like you being the common factor between the two friend groups means that there is something there, like potential for them to be able to mix together. I feel like that was too complicated what I just said, but I really hope that it makes sense. Never ask your introvert friend why he or she is not talking much. Oh, okay, this one I can agree with this because again, if you know me, I am an introvert. Don't ask me questions why I have a YouTube as an introvert. My explanation for that is I'm very comfortable speaking to the camera as opposed to a huge crowd. And if you don't understand that logic, argue with your keyboard. I don't care. But I do believe in this unspoken rule because as an introvert, I do not like when people ask me, oh, why are you not making friends? Oh, like in a party, oh, why are you on your own? Why are you sitting on your own? Because I want to sit on my own. Like, why is it bothering you? You can make your own friends. I'm not stopping you from making friends. So why are you bothered that I'm on my own? I'm clearly not complaining, not crying that I'm on my own. I'm comfortable being on my own. So why are you so bothered? And I feel like that in itself already like draws attention that I don't want to myself. So I always get frustrated when people do that. And I feel like majority of the time it's like aunties and uncles or mom and dad that do those type of things. So yeah. And I feel like if somebody knows that you're an introvert and knows how you are, they wouldn't really ask that question. But then there's some naive people that still end up doing that nonsense that I actually hate. So I definitely agree with this unspoken rule. Do not ask an introvert why they're not talking too much in a what's it called group setting. Do not ask them if they're okay. Do not ask them why they're being alone. They're fine. If you want to talk to them, just go and say hi to them. Don't be asking them questions like that, okay? So for anybody that needs to hear that, that is how you should handle the situation. Don't just go there asking questions like that. Go there trying to have a proper conversation, and you'll be surprised what you'll get positively from them. So that's what I think about that. Never ask friends how much they earn. I definitely agree with this because I feel like it puts everybody in a weird situation, especially when these friends are people that you work with, like maybe you work in the same company. I feel like I get why people ask, but at the same time I just feel like it's weird because what if we're all earning differently and like I tell you how much I'm earning and it's different whether lower or higher than what you're earning, it then makes things awkward and makes you start to feel a type of way. So what I usually do in those moments is rather than be specific with the number, I just give like a range. Oh, between this and that. Because I'm not technically telling you that, and I know that your range is probably going to fall within that level because we're both on the same level in our what's it called um work what's it called level. But for me, that's how I handle that situation though. And I would prefer that people don't even ask type of thing because at the end of the day, it's a very personal information of somebody. But that's just to me. I know that there are some people that don't really care. You know, they don't have a problem with people asking them that and they don't have a problem with being honest about it. But that's just my opinion. And I'll definitely love to hear what you guys think about that. When someone does something embarrassing, ignore it like you didn't notice so it doesn't make them feel worse. I 100 I 100% agree with this because it's like at that point when we know that we've done something embarrassing, and again, particularly for introverts, when you know that you've done something embarrassing in public, you just want to be swallowed by the ground. Like you don't even want to be there again. So people coming to you and like either asking, "Oh, are you okay? Oh, what happened?" or something like that, it just makes the whole thing even more embarrassing for you. At that point, you just want to cry and all those type of things. So I definitely agree. Like, just pretend you did not see it. Just continue doing whatever you are doing. Do not come and bring more attention to the situation because that's just going to make us feel more like shit. So I definitely agree with this one, and I try to do it too. Like whenever I see somebody maybe twisted their leg weirdly or accidentally fell in a very embarrassing way or said something stupid, I don't said something silly. Not stupid, stupid is rude, but I intentionally ignore it because I can already tell, like from their countenance, that they're already embarrassed, and I just give them a moment, like, okay, this person is clearly embarrassed right now. I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what is going on, and then or change the conversation or like just don't say anything at all in that moment or don't come to them at all in that moment. But what do you guys think about that? Don't make plans in front of people who are not invited. I don't even think this is an unspoken rule. I think this is just etiquette. Like you shouldn't do that if you are inviting somebody or making plans with somebody and there are other people there that you are not inviting. It is weird. It may not be weird if maybe you don't know these people, like you just know the one person that you're inviting. Okay, I guess it's not that weird because obviously they wouldn't expect to be invited. But if it's people that you know, a friend group that you know, and then you intentionally are inviting somebody, one person within that friend group that you know, or people that you know, it is weird. It does make things a little bit uncomfortable. And I would hope that people know better than to do that. But again, like I said in the beginning of this video, there are really some weird people out there that be doing things like this to just embarrass people or make situations awkward. And I don't really understand why. For me personally, I think it's just basic etiquettes. Etiquette rules. Do not invite people. You do not invite somebody when there are other people around that are not going to be invited, period. I think it's just a rule of thumb. Like it shouldn't be something that should even like be questioned, if that makes sense. When someone shares a story or problem, listen and show empathy. Don't try to counter with your own story that's even better or even worse. Most times they are looking for connections and validation, not comparisons. This is a good one. And I feel like I struggle with this because sometimes, like me personally, I'm more of a problem solver. If you come with to me with I'm an empathic problem solver. If you come to me with an issue, the first thing I'm thinking of is, okay, how can we figure this thing out? But then I'm trying. These days I find that not everybody is looking for a solution in that moment. Some people just want you to be empathetic with them and sympathize with them, type of thing, or listen to them. And I feel like it is something that I am learning, on a daily basis. I definitely see how people may not necessarily be validating in that moment, but rather jump into like maybe trying to problem solve or like trying to like what's it called, give you a scenario where they went through something similar. Okay, no, well, I don't think I do that in terms of like, oh, I try to like make it about myself, because I feel like that's what this post is saying when it says don't try to counter with your own story that's even better or worse. I don't think I do that. I feel like in my own situation I try to problem solve, and sometimes not everybody wants a solution in that moment. But yeah, trying to like take the spotlight out of them or like make it about yourself, that is definitely a no-no. If that's what this post is trying to say, I definitely don't agree with that. I think in that moment, just show your support, and if they want the solution, just give them the solution, give them some sort of like resolution to what they are facing, and don't make it about yourself. Definitely don't make it about yourself. If someone shows you a picture on their phone, don't swipe don't swipe left or right. If someone shows you a picture on their phone, don't swipe left or right. Duh. But then again, I know that there are some nosy people that will swipe left and right. So come on now. That one is an absolute no no. That is shouldn't even be an unspoken. Well, okay, it's an unspoken rule, but like, again, that is just what's the word? Etiquette. If somebody is showing you one specific picture and they're not like, oh, check the whole thing, if they don't say check the whole thing, you shouldn't be sliding. Just look at what they showed you and give them their phone back. You're not the one paying their phone bills, you're not the one paying for their data bills, you're not the one that bought the phone for them. So why are you scrolling through the photos? What are you looking for? So yeah, definitely a no no. Don't ask people when they are getting married or having kids. I don't think anybody like in your peer would be asking these kind of questions. I think it's mainly family members that ask this. I know parents, my mom doesn't do this. I know that there's some families that, well, is portrayed in on media and in films that a lot of Nigerian families do ask these questions. But I'm very happy and grateful to God that mine doesn't. My siblings don't. Of course, we joke around sometimes where people are like, "Oh, when are you going to make me a nephew or a niece?" type of thing. But like, even if they say things like that, it's just in a joking type of context. But anybody that really be trying to like pry and want to know when people are getting married or getting having kids and all that, you're just being nosy. And I think essentially the fact that you have enough time to be asking those type of questions means that your life is either miserable or you don't have anything to do with yourself. So go and pick up a hobby and learn something new rather than trying to be in other people's business. No shade. No shade, but that is nosy and a no no. Absolutely not. Don't do that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If we make eye contact and recognize each other in public, but neither of us say anything, just let it be. That counts as a greeting, and we are both agreeing to pretend we don't know each other. I feel like in a perfect world, I would agree with this, but then knowing myself, I feel like I will now start to overthink the situation. Like, oh shit, they've seen me now. Do I go and say hi to them? Do I stay here? Would it be rude if I don't? Would it be rude if I do? Like, I feel like so many things start to go through my mind, and then I end up now out of courtesy, like, oh, hi, how you doing? Like going up to them, like, hi, how you doing? Type of thing. Or maybe when we knock eyes together and I would end up smiling at you, and then if you smile back, it's like, okay, we've acknowledged each other. Maybe I can proceed to come and say hi to you. But like if we just lock eyes together, realistically, okay, I get how, yes, if we look at each other and don't come to each other in that moment, let it be. But I feel like as an overthinker, um, me personally will bug me for the rest of the night. Like, oh my god, am I being rude? Maybe they're just shy, and maybe I should go and approach them. Maybe they don't know anybody else in this setting, and maybe we should just go and talk. Like, I don't know. So many things will be going through my mind. So I don't know if there is really a right or wrong way of dealing with this particular type of situation. I really think it depends on the situation at hand, depends on how things are in the moment, in the spur of the moment. So this one I'm like still 50-50 on. Let me know what you guys think. If someone is talking eagerly about anything they truly enjoy, you always respond with enthusiasm, ugh, even if you don't agree with them. Yes, I feel like in the moment when somebody is excited about something, just to be polite, yes, you can what's it called? Don't interrupt them, let them speak type of thing. And depends on how close you are with that person. If she's a close friend of yours that you can keep it real with, and maybe when they were excited in that moment, speaking about whatever it was, maybe they were a group of people that you obviously don't want to call them out or like disagree with them in that setting. So maybe at the end of the day, maybe when you guys are alone or like later on when you guys have left each other, maybe you're on the call with each other one on one, or like you are texting, maybe you can just tell them like, hey, by the way, oh, really I understand where you're coming from or what you said about so matter a couple of days ago, a couple of hours ago, but this is my opinion type of thing, and be respectful with your delivery. I feel like that is a good way to handle it if it's something that you do not agree with, rather than just in that moment shutting down their emotions or like not validating their emotions in that moment, because that could keep put them in the defense, on the defense, and then just make the whole thing turn upside down, like make the whole conversation now weird and uncomfortable and awkward for the both of you. So I just feel like it depends on how you handle the situation at that moment and your tone with how you what's it called express your disagreement with whatever the case may be. So just be polite and just read the room. It really depends on the setting and the kind of person that they are. Because if it's somebody that doesn't like to take advice or like take criticism or likes everybody to be a yes man for them, which again, if anybody is in a friendship where you're just a yes man, that is not a healthy friendship, that is not a healthy relationship. So I would ask you to reevaluate that. But if you find yourself in that, I feel like just look around for the like the tone of the conversation, the mood of the person, and if you want to say it in that moment, make sure that the circumstances are right and your delivery is polite. Oh, not me rhyming. Circumstances are right and the delivery is polite. Period. Period. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Never make plans with the money that hasn't touched your account. That's real. And I feel like a lot of us do this a lot when it's like, okay, you're getting paid this weekend and you're like, oh, I want to go out this weekend then. I know I'm getting paid, da da da. But you don't know the bills that will come on that Friday that you're getting paid. And some random Uber Eats delivery thing may come out, some random PayPal purchase may deduct, some random subscription may deduct that you're not expecting. Your phone bill may come out in that Friday. So I definitely agree that we should do better with not planning on money that hasn't dropped in our account. But I'm not going to sit down here and lie to you and be like, oh, I never do that. I do it a lot, and I know that there are a lot of people that do it too. But it definitely, yeah, sometimes it may work out the way you plan, where it's like, okay, the money does land and there is no other outstanding bill to pay. And then there are sometimes where it wouldn't work out, where there is an outstanding bill that you did not remember that got deducted, and then you don't really have that money to spend, but like you already made that arrangement to like use the money for whatever it was that you wanted to use the money for earlier on, or that you planned to use the money for. So you now are in a sticky situation. So yeah, I definitely believe that this should be an unspoken rule, but if we're being honest, a lot of us do not really abide by this particular one. We should though, but we really don't. You must ask to give my number to anyone. I definitely agree with this. I don't like when people just like share my number without my permission, because at the end of the day, my number is my personal information. So I wouldn't want it to just go into the wrong hands. So I definitely agree with this one. I know there are some people that may not agree with this. Maybe they want their friends to like hook them up with like male friends, female friends, whatever it is, and it's like, oh, like any fine friend that you have, just give them my number type of thing, and all this type of stuff. But me personally, I like my privacy. I don't like people having too much of my information unless I know you. So I personally would stand by this unspoken rule, and I would definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. If someone is wearing headphones, they don't want to talk. Bam. Period. I have nothing to say about that one. That is it. Yep. There's no two ways about it. If somebody you're trying to speak to them and they consistently have their earphones, AirPods, earbuds, whatever buds they have in their ear, they don't want to talk. They do not want to talk. Period. There's nothing else to say about that. Stamp. Bam. That's it. And anybody that doesn't understand that, you need to learn social cues. And I know a couple of people that don't in my life. So, like, if you know, you know. If you have those kind of people, you're hearing me now, you're talking to somebody, whether it's a friend, family member, whatever it is, and they have their earpiece on, they do not want to talk to you respectfully. Not because they don't want to hear what you will have to say, but their brain is in like relaxed mode, music mode in that moment, and they don't want to speak in that moment. It's just a thing of they just don't want to speak. And a lot of introverts deal with this where it's like we're just listening to music and then somebody wants to have a conversation. Trust me, they don't. I'm telling you now, they don't. There's one thing you pick from this video, they don't. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think though. I feel like a lot of people would agree with me on this. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys still have to think regardless. Never ever chew so loud. This one is again etiquette. I feel like this slide is mixing some etiquette principles with unspoken rules. I guess what's the difference between etiquette and unspoken rules actually? Let me see. Let's ask ChatGPT. You guys know ChatGPT is my friend at this point. What is the difference between what was it? Etiquette and unspoken rules. Let's educate ourselves. Good question. Etiquette and unspoken rules are closely related, but it's not exactly the same. Here's the difference. For etiquette, it is a formal or codified set of social rules about how to behave politely in certain situations. Example, saying please and thank you. Purpose of this is to show respect, consideration, and social awareness. Often applies in structural settings, professional, diplomatic, or cultural context. For unspoken rules, the definition is implicit expectations or norms that people generally follow without them being clearly stated. Okay, so etiquettes I feel like are formal, meaning they have to be like taught or they have to be stated. You may not know about them, but like unspoken rules are things you should know about that you shouldn't do. And no one should teach you. You should just be. I think unspoken rules are more like common sense. Let me ask ChatGPT. So, are you saying unspoken rules could mean common sense? Use of common sense? Yes, that's a great way to think about it. Unspoken rules often overlap with common sense because they're the kind of behaviors that most people intuitively expect from others in a shared social setting. Okay. So they are not the same. Um what's it called? And not common sense and unspoken rules. Common sense and unspoken rules are the same, but unspoken rules and etiquette are not the same. Etiquette is taught. People may not know, but unspoken rules, for the most part, you should know. So, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. So, what was the question? Never ever chew so loud. Again, bam. That is obvious. I don't know anybody else that would disagree with this. Never chew loud, whether that is in public or with family, whatever it is. Maybe if you're the only one in the house, you can eat whatever, however you want to eat. You can eat like a barbarian, no problem. But when you're in a social setting or when you are in a formal setting, it's just common sense to not too loud, or I know again another unspoken rule that I'm gonna add into this list is ta 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 with your utensils. People that make noise when they're eating. Again, that is an unspoken rule. If you're at home eating on your own, fine, you can eat however you want. But again, when you're in a social setting, formal setting, be careful how you use your utensils and your cutleries, because you can't be drumming on the table. It is weird, it is rude, it just shows lack of social skills. And I definitely think that that is an unspoken rule, or should be an unspoken rule, where it's like you shouldn't chew with your mouth loud, you shouldn't make noise or drum with your cutleries. So yeah. On the next one, whatever you do in life, eat first. Hunger ruins everything. Okay. Um, I guess I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, okay. What I wouldn't say this is an unspoken rule. What if you are not hungry in that moment? Like I'm genuinely like serious. Whatever you do in life, like okay, even if okay, if you sleep, yes, obviously eat first. What would I say you would want to do in life that wouldn't require you to eat? So if you want to eat, do you have to eat before you eat? Like I don't know. I feel like the statement itself is a bit redundant, because it's like not every situation would need you to eat before you do it. Okay, if you're going out, definitely eat before you leave the house. If you want to go to bed, definitely eat before you go to bed, because you're going to wake up hungry. If you're going into a meeting, okay, yes, eat. But if you're going to eat, you don't have to eat before you eat. But I know that's just me being petty, but like I wouldn't say that's an unspoken rule. Yeah, I don't know. That one is weird in the list. I get what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. What if you want to get food after whatever it is that you want to do? Not everybody wants to eat first. What if you're fasted? So, and the intention is okay, when you do certain things, like, okay, maybe when I finish doing my hair, I'm going to get myself a treat type of thing. Like, I feel like it's not every situation that you would want to eat first or have to eat first to do. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing this statement. Let me know in the comment section. Like I feel like I'm just going too deep, which I don't need to, but I just don't really get that particular unspoken rule in this list. But that's pretty much it. And what a way to end the list. That's pretty much the last one in the lineup. Let me know what you guys think. What are your unspoken rules? Do you agree with the ones that were shared in this video? And if you have yours, please comment them down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in my next one hopefully soon. Bye.